Well, let's see if this actually comes through. Hello! It appears we are not dropping any frames at all, which is really, really good, so I'm going to bump up the quality. If I remember how. I think it's this. Video bitrate 6000, that sound right? Anyways, what you're looking at is exactly what you think you're looking at. This is iRacing. So there's a build on, and I've posted about this before just in like normal uploads, but there's a build of iRacing on the Pirate Bay from 2008 to 2009. I believe it's like late 2008, with basically like the starter content at that time. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, why would you want to get that? Like, why wouldn't you just sign up for iRacing even just with a free trial? Because I personally don't like the way iRacing's current tire model feels, and I've always had issues with it. Even if you go into my post history on the forums, you can tell I'm starting to ask questions even early on in my career in quotations on there. But iRacing actually had a lot of things right back in when it first came out, from I would say beta in like 07 or 08 up until about 2011 when they started implementing the new tire model. I'm not sure what was behind the tire model change. I don't want to sit and be a cunt nugget because I have things to do. But in short, iRacing's first few years of operations before they became like massively popular was extremely good as in terms of physics. And again, the pirated build of this game that's on the Pirate Bay from 2008 doesn't have a lot of content, but I am lucky enough where of like the 8 cars this download includes, I happen to drive one of these, and that helps because our season starts in a week, and we ended up not being able to test this year just because we were waiting for some parts to come in the mail. So this is literally my preseason testing session, is to go on the computer and play shit that drives as close to our car as possible. So tonight I will be playing iRacing 08, not just to be like a wanker and show it off on the stream and be like, haha, look, I'm playing an old build of a game to be edgy. No, I'm literally using this time to practice. Like, this is a very good rendition of a late model. And then I will swap over to NASCAR 03 and run my home track on there for a bit, and then Colorado National Speedway, which is actually quite close to Prince George, which we'll be racing at hopefully within a week from now. We'll actually be pulling in there this time next Friday. And I've got the hotel booked and the flights booked and all that shit. So, thanks for coming out. I'm just going to put the chat on here. And I'm literally going to just run like 40 laps. I've got the setup dialed in and all of that shit. So ideally, I'll just go run a green flag stint, and then I'll come and see if there's any people asking questions in the chat. But yeah, feel free to just fucking hang out. So to show off the 08 build just a bit, I don't remember exactly when this came out. Not a lot of options in the garage. I should probably save this as like South Boston. I believe this car is a little bit underpowered. This is the setup I'm just using as a baseline to begin with. It's not the default setup. In terms of options, it's very low on the options. Like a lot of the fun stuff iRacing's implemented, it's just not in here. Like a very, very old build. There's no way to edit the camera in game. There's like, it's the most basic version of iRacing you can get, but like I said, the driving model is extremely good. So we are going to go out for, let's say, 40 laps here and try not to wreck the car. I'm turning too much, which is my first problem. I'm braking way too late. Gotta fix that. There we go. So now I'm turning too much. That was apparently the quickest lap, though. There we go. That was a nice corner. No. Shitty line. That almost felt better. There we go. Still turning the wheel too much. Still turning the wheel too much. Gotta work on that. That was better. There we go. Nope, had to lift. Shitty. Oh shit. We're good. There we go. Panic. That was almost a wrecked car. Back it down for a bit. And get back on it. Nope, that's the wall. Doesn't seem to affect the car's speed though. Another sexy corner. Oh, it gets slick on the paint. Forgot about that. The steering wheel is one-to-one with my inputs. So if you want a little bit of hint of how I'm driving this. Tag the wall again. That was a small one though. Really good corner. Down to a low 2. Another sexy turn. Got distracted by the clock, so I'm going to back off for a lap. And we're back. Kind of bobbled there, but wasn't a bad lap. Just barely tagged the wall. That was a good session though. Burned through 40 laps really like nothing. That's fun though. That's a lot of fun. So, we'll get out of the car and check our lap times. Just started this session. So, we start at 5s, 4, a 6, 5, 3, 4, steady 4s, 5, 4, 5, 4s and 3s, 3s and 2s, a 9, a 7, or a 17-0, 3, 3, actually can I do this? I can. When do we really start picking up a pace here? I had a 299, a 290, a 277, 223, 308, 205. Start here. And these views kind of suck, but yeah, it's old school iRacing, so. Honestly, I just do like single races. Like, we don't have like a set plan when we go for practice, aside from like final practice. But like in the week leading up, usually I like to do full length 100 lap races against AI, because it ends up being roughly the same time, like exact same race time. Sometimes I have tried running with my fire suit on just to like make sure it's not like stiff and shit. And I know that sounds like lame, but if you've ever owned a fire suit, they get stiff and they're really uncomfortable, so it's like kind of useful to like put it on and wear it for an hour just to like stretch it back out. They're really shitty to wear. But no, I tend to just drive like, there are a couple tracks that essentially are on our schedule that have equivalents in this game, or NASCAR 03 or stuff like that, or even some of the weird shit like Williams Lake, where we'll be. I think we run twice there this year, is identical in layout, which I don't know how that kind of coincidence happened, but it's identical to one of the oval tracks in Need for Speed Shift, like the first game. It's like their Bristol knockoff is literally Williams Lake. And then Colorado Speedway is Prince George. Edmonton actually exists for NASCAR 03, so I can run there, which is kind of hilarious. Shit. There's something that reminds me of Quesnel. Not Martinsville, but it's something smaller. Oh, you know what? Greenville Pickens. Because they have a similar inside concrete wall that you can easily hit. So, what I can do now is a mock qualifying lap, because I've got my 40 lap stint in here. I really don't want to play this version of iRacing for too long because it gets boring. And like, there's only so much I can do with a game that you just have free practice in. But anyway, we have, in the last 10 laps, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 twos. Which is pretty consistent. I've done that in practice before, where I've ran the identical time twice, and it was kind of cool. And then a bailed lap. What did I fuck up here? Oh, I just blew the entry. Yeah, and I got out of it. What did I fuck up? Okay, that was the only botched lap. So our series rules: we have one complete outlap. and then 2 green laps. So you get your O lap, and then you get the 1 to go as you cross the stripe, and then you do 2 flying laps. So we'll simulate a mock qualifying run here. You want to go as quick as you can, as early as you can to build the heat. Understeers on the first lap. So this is your 1 to go. And then this time around is green. Still understeering. One to go. Ah, shit, a 16.3. Well, we'll check how it was. We might go it again. So we have our in lap, our out lap. So this lap is your 1 to go, your wave around, and then the next one coming up is your first timed lap. So the right front, it plowed here a whole bunch. Got really close to the wall. That's not a bad line. So that ended up being a 16.2, which is really not bad, because that's only a couple hundredths off my PB. That was set after like 30 laps of practice and once the tires were worn in. So that's not bad on cold tires. We'll watch that from chase cam again in slow motion to see where I fucked up. So we're taking the green now. Let's just make sure we're on the right lap. Taking the green now. That distance is good. Again, I understeered a shit ton here, and you can kind of see the car will wash up here a bit right there. Yep, there it washes up, and I have to lay on the throttle to get the rear end to rotate. Oh, that was... We can't zoom in on that because it's old school iRacing and their controls aren't in yet, but that was close. It's real close. I knew I fucked up bad too, because as I came through the corner, it started to wash out. And what you do in a lock diff car is when it does that, you step on the gas so the car comes around. And this is a video game, so I know that I can't hurt anything, so I tried to be cheeky with it and just tap the rear end. It didn't even register as contact though, which is pretty based. And then here I thought the lap was a throwaway just because I bobbled so badly, so I like sent it in as hard as I could. And that actually seemed to be an okay line. And again, that's really not bad for a mock qualifying attempt. Yep. So we'll try another one. Can I improve on a 16.25 in Q trim? So again, punch it out of the pits. Official gives you your 1 to go here. That was good, and that's not time though, so that's kind of lame, but we are getting the green this time by. Green flag. That was a fucking lap. I'm just going to park it after that. Wow, 16.1 in Q trim. Shit, that was fast. That might be a PB here, like, out of the whole time I've had pirated iRacing. So that's lap 48. Yep, that is a new PB. And the outlap was good too, even. So we'll go through this lap in slow motion. So this is the run up. We'll go into far chase here. Yep. Could have been slightly closer to the wall. Entry was amazing. Got the tire under the yellow line. The car didn't wash up until I absolutely needed it to. Had a really nice straight drive off up to the wall. Didn't bobble at the wall. Ran right on the wall. And 3 and 4 is banked a little bit differently than 1 and 2. But I got the car to set actually pretty nice through there. And yeah, that was a very smooth lap. So I will take you on a lap showing the driving style required for this car, or these cars, because in this game, again, it's like bang on. So it very much infuriates me that iRacing has deviated to some extent, because this version of the game is so good. So you're wide open. See if I can do this in one shot. This would be like a proper video I have to do. But you're wide open, and in these cars, again, they don't really turn because it's an American car. So as you turn, you crank the wheel on entry, and then you jump on the brakes, and it shifts the weight on the nose. And it sends the car into a four-wheel drift, which is easier to do on the tires we run because we're not full-on slicks. We're like grooved slicks. So it handles like GPL. And then as you feel the car like start to kind of become neutral through the center of the corner, you roll on the throttle to kick the rear end out and essentially steer the car through the corner. And then you use your steering wheel for just like minor adjustments. So review, you come in, you're on the gas, just as you start to turn in, you jump on the brakes, basically till you get pulled forward into the seat belts. And then you just try and maintain this four-wheel drift, and you really never want to turn, and this is something Dustin had to drill into me, you never really want to turn more than like 90 degrees either way. You want the wheel to be kind of centered like this, and then just doing these little minor corrections off the corner. And this game, these cars are on slick, so it's not as crazy, but it's easier to keep the wheel centered on groove slicks. And then it's the same thing for this corner. You'll see I'm driving really hard into the corner. I'm kind of flicking the car into a Scandinavian flick, and then jumping on the brakes, almost to the stopper, and then back on the gas really early. Like, let's see, when I first apply the gas, we're going to pause it exactly where I am on the circuit. Not even at the apex. So if the apex is, let's say the apex is this green cone. This is the center of 3 and 4. I am on the gas here. And again, that's what it's like to drive a lock diff car. So when you get on the gas, it essentially turns the car. And if you look at what I'm doing with the steering wheel here, it's just straight. This turn was perfect. This is like textbook. Hell, it's even a bit sideways. This is like identical to a real car's inputs. And then you'll see here I kind of roll on the throttle and like hold it to like 80%. That is more like in our car, it's down to like here, because there's just so little grip with our shitty Sportsman tires. But that's what driving these cars is like. This is bang on. And then in this game, because you're running full slicks, you can like mat it really early. But in real life, you're half throttle to like here for our car. And then finally, as the car starts to hook up, you can like slowly mat it all the way. So I will do one more mock qualifying run, and then we will switch games. So again, build speed immediately out of the pits. Your track official will give you the 1 to go sign from the flag stand right here. Usually understeers like that on cold tires. Green flag. Kind of a shitty entry. We're looking at a mid 2 to low 3. One to go. Nope. That actually wasn't bad. I salvaged that. I did a good job of salvaging it because that was a 212 compared to our 173, but I do want to go through that and explain where I fucked up. So that is lap. This was the out lap, or the untimed lap that the officials don't count. So this was a 16:46. So lap 1 wasn't actually too bad. I had a really good run into the corner. I got a bit too sideways, which is possible to do just with brake bias or being too greedy on the brake pedal. So as I rolled on it onto the throttle, you'll see here, the rear end kicks out too much and I kind of bled speed like that. But I recovered pretty nice. And then here I just got into the brakes too late and the car washed up the track, which again is super easy to do. I've done that at Prince George before in qualifying, and like it sucks. And I've done that at Agassi before, where if you just get the brake timing just wrong, you're half a lane up the racetrack. Like I'm way too high here. And then of course to counter that, again to make the car corner, you jump on the gas and the rear end snaps around. So I countered it. I did what I was supposed to do. But we have one more lap. And what the fuck did I do here? I really don't remember anymore. Okay, that I kind of cooked it, and we'll see the wheel here. You can tell I really cooked it because my second bit of counter steering, I was aimed at the wall, and then the car kind of bobbled, and oh Jesus. So that is like close to death. That was a big oops. Really bad call by me. Too much counter steering, and I guess the front end bit. Yep, the front end bit. It's too greedy on it. And then what the fuck did I do here? Oh, this is the one I entered way too wide. Like, your braking points have to be like almost perfect every lap in these cars. And I hit South Boston has a bump. This isn't something that Prince George deals with next weekend, but South Boston has a bump going into 3, and you can kind of see it here. That if you're too high up, the car will just not bottom out, but it'll fuck up all the weight distribution. And I realized it because I'm hitting it right here. So what did I do? I was like, oh shit, I got to turn. The car's not turning. Instantly full power, and then balancing it and holding it at like 50%. And then of course with the slicks, they hook up a lot easier in iRacing. Back on the gas and riding out the lap. And again, from what I've done with this setup, 16.2 is really not terrible. So in my opinion, I recovered that pretty nice on that Q or Mock Q run. But I'm not going to bore you with iRacing cracked version anymore. I want to show off NASCAR 03. So hopefully it's showing my placeholder screen right now, because there's a lot of porn on the desktop. And I will try and get this working. I had help from my boy Brandon, trying to get this working ahead of time. He showed me how to play NASCAR 03 on OBS. Really hoping this works, like first try, otherwise we're going to run into problems. So, go OBS, take off Pirate Bay, and we will add a source, a game capture, NASCAR 03, specific window, NASCAR 03. Oh, no, it's not game capture. It is, yeah, I fucked this up already. Good job, me. Remove, add window capture. It has to be a window, NASCAR 03. And there we go. Can you guys see that? Hopefully that's working. Guess we'll see on the stream in a minute here. Hey, look at that. It worked. So thank you to Brandon. So, hopefully this is working for you guys. It appears to be on my end, but it's on a bit of a delay for you guys, so we will see how this all works out. So, I talk an enormous amount about this game, because this is something, A, I've been playing literally since my childhood, and B, now that I've started driving one of these cars, it is bang on. Maybe not as much as iRacing 08, but it's close enough where I'm completely happy playing this. So NASCAR 03, I'm not going to give like the massive rundown on because I could talk about this game all day. But long story short, it's not like R Factor where there is like an open physics text file that you can just go in and mod and add your own horsepower and your own like tire dimensions and tire makeup and all kinds of stuff like that. There is instead 4 stock physics sets. So you have your 03 NASCAR Cup, you have your 03 NASCAR Truck, and your 03 NASCAR Busch Series, and then the SCCA Trans Am Series that was kind of popular back in the early 2000s. If you watch Speed Channel back in the day, you've seen one of those races. But anyway, every oval mod you see for NASCAR 03, including like the weird shit like the IndyCar, is just one of those 4 physics sets. And like that sounds kind of shitty on the outset, but stock cars in general, their build and their attributes and their handling dynamics and their horsepower really hasn't changed from decade to decade, really since like the early 90s. So in this case, someone made years ago a mod, which is just basically your late model mod with the 5-star bodies, which is what we're seeing here. They put that on the Busch Grand National Series physics, and like, yeah, I understand these cars run like either 2,800 pounds or 2,900 pounds, and the Busch cars are like 3,200 pounds, and a late model can be anywhere from 400 to 600 horsepower, and then your Busch car is like 750, I think, or like 600. But like at the end of the day, when you're actually physically on the track, it drives like a late model does. It even runs the same lap times that a late model does. It's awesome. This game's awesome for that shit. So yeah, the car set I'm using right now is the Mark Galloway 150 Evergreen Speedway set. So these are people we've actually seen race in person, or practice rather. Dustin and I went to the K&N race last year at Evergreen. It was kind of a disaster, so we've seen like a lot of these cars on track. This guy, I actually know the guy who's driven this car. It's not Baker. It's, I think, Shane subbed for him a few times. I think Baker's the primary owner, but it's someone else. Yeah, these are cars we've essentially seen in person, so that's really cool. And that's one of the awesome things about NASCAR 03 is the amount of modders who are still making shit for it for this day is really dope. And guys who were like growing up playing this 12 years old, like their cars are in the game now in the Cup Series. It's sick. So my install right now is just 2 tracks. There's Edmonton, because I live here and I've personally raced here, and then Erie, Colorado, which I essentially treat as a mock Pagara Speedway track. But I will go to Edmonton and basically just run laps with the AI. We'll turn practice time down to about 20 minutes here. I will turn my volume down slightly because this game is slightly loud. And we will load into the session. Still a bit too loud for my taste, but we'll deal with it. So EIR is located in Wetaskiwin, Alberta, which is... shit. The textures are fucked up. Hold on. I love NASCAR 03 so much, but it is a pain in the ass sometimes. I'm so sorry, people. So every now and then, when you boot this game, the textures will go blurry, and you basically have to edit an INI file and just put a stupidly big number in there so it loads the correct resolution textures. It really, really sucks. It really does, and it's a shitty part about this game. Where the fuck is this? I don't remember the name of this file. rendxg.ini. Texture set size 9999. So the reason I had to randomly exit the game is because every once in a while it'll reset your graphics configuration and give you a bunch of low-res textures, And the fix for it is just typing in a massive number into a certain text file. So we're going to check if NASCAR loaded again, and look at that, it did. Nice, this is working really well for me. And we'll go in, and ideally, the textures are better. Yeah, look at that. The trees actually look like proper trees now. Anyways, this is Edmonton International Raceway in Wetaskiwin. I've raced here. I've won Rookie of the Year in the Hornets here. I ran here in 2017 a bit. I think I won 1 or 2 races. I won 2, and I was DQ'd on 1 because apparently they don't like the bump and run. But that's neither here nor there. NR is like the one game that I fucking love, but I fucking hate at the same time. Yeah, but you know what? Like, the end result is worth it. Like, this game's very much like R Factor, in that there's like a bunch of stupid things you have to do to like rig it up so it works properly. But NASCAR 03 is less flaky in that the on-track action is like amazing. Whereas with R Factor, like, you can put in all the effort into installing a mod, and it's like shit at the end of the day. Have you downloaded New World's DirectX 9 thing? Yes, I have. That was a recent thing I put in maybe about 2 months ago. I used to run this game stock graphics, stock FPS, and still loved it, but now, like, you probably can't tell on the stream, but the saturation's a lot better. And, like, the colors are, like, crisper. And there's not really a depth of field effect, but, like, there is. I don't know, I think it looks pretty good for a game this old. So, if you haven't looked on my channel, I was here last weekend. Last Saturday night I filmed a late model race here. I wasn't asked, but I enjoy going to like the big races that are like, this track's less than an hour from my front door, and I figured why not. So where this pit lane cam is positioned, this is literally where I took the video from. If you go on my channel and look into the I think it's like the 2019 season playlist I made. But yeah, I've literally been where this pit camera is. It's on top of the C cans. When we ran Hornets, we used to park back. I don't know if you can see where the cursor is, but where these trucks are located on the right side, we used to park back here, and we'd like just hang out. Those sheds are like bang on accurate placement. The front stands are kind of accurate, but kind of not. Like, actually, you know what? They might be accurate, save there's a box, like not a spotter's box, but like the race control slash broadcast box. That's like on the left, on the centermost grandstand that's at the start-finish line. There's like a box at the top. Oh, and on top of driving here, I've also called a race here. So that's going to be a weird thing I'll put on my resume in like 5 years, is that I have been a NASCAR race official for one night. I know that's a scary thought. It wasn't a disaster. It was actually a lot of fun, and I'm really thankful that Edmonton gave me that opportunity. But let's go bomb around. So the setup I'm using, I used to have a setup Dustin built me, and I lost it, so I apologize. But it's just like a modified fast setup, and this game's still way too fucking loud. That's not cool. Okay. All right. So I run cam hack. Is this a WKC NR2003 track? It's not. It is NR Track Designs, and he's done like all the Pinty series stuff. He's really good. So,
okay, you're clear of pit
off
lane.
we go.
Okay, merge when you can.
So the pole here last what was it? Last Saturday night was like 12.6. So we'll try and hit that. Also, yes, I'm aware this track is small. .12.8, getting quicker. So the other thing is too is that I did the AI line for this track, not in the official downloaded version, but like I made my own because I know how to race here. So the AI is way quicker than what's actually in the default track, and they run the real line here too. Oh, got a bit faster. .12.7, come on. Whoa! It's alright, I've seen people do that. 12.73. Oh, we're a tenth off. That's still quick though. For a car that, in the game physics world, is 3,300 pounds. I would love to run here this year, just like once for a laugh. But we looked on the calendar today and all the dates coincide with stuff in BC. Like every single date. Slowly catching the cars in front. But that's really how it is. Like, when everyone's good, that's really the rate you gain on people. Now we're making some good ground. Then comes the next issue with running at EIR. How do you pass people? Because as you can probably see just by the stream, like, how do you get around people? Now, of course, like, all the stock car guys in the chat right now are being like, well, just move someone out of the way. That's the reason I stopped racing here IRL, is because they were very sensitive on contact penalties. We used to joke that, like, there's no stock car racing allowed in stock car racing. But, like, if you go on my laps, you'll see the EIR car counts just, like, drop steadily over a period of a couple of years. And that's partially the reason why. Because they really did. It's a quarter-mile bull ring that doesn't like contact. And as you can see, like, from the driver's view here, like, you have to start moving people. Got a little loose there. I mean, obviously you can't be lining people up every lap and just, like, destroying them. But even in Hornets, like, we would just beat on people's back bumpers. And then when they started getting it, like, really after us for it, it's like, you know, time to look for other places to run. Another thing is too is there's no high groove here. So, like, when you watch the Pinty's series stuff here, everyone just sits on the bottom. Like, Like, let's try and pass someone on the high side.
Car inside. Stay high. Clear inside. Car inside. Clear inside.
See, like, that was work to get by someone, but he's significantly slower than me. So it works, but like, when we'd run mini stocks here, with good people, that high line doesn't work. But yeah, the guy who made this track did a fantastic job. Like, the fact that he modeled the rail car skyboxes in turn 1, like, almost to a T, is completely hilarious. Like, he's even got, like, the stairs behind him, too. And what's funny is, like, that model's going to be used once. He put all that effort in to model one object on one track that he'll never get to recycle as an asset. I know this is probably boring the shit out of a lot of people, but like, I have to do this. And I figured I'd stream it just to show, like, when I say how much I loved NR2003, I have like something to kind of back it up. But again, like, okay, let's say we're in the middle of a race, it's lap 56 of 100. There's no contact allowed. How do you pass? How do you do it? Like, where do I go now? You basically, like, if you have to hope the guy in front of you is like 70 years old and complete dog shit, and like accidentally gives up the bottom. But like, I've made this line myself. Like, this is me driving the AI line, because NR2003 still has like the AI debug buttons into it, so that's how people make AI lines for like their add-on tracks. It's like you hit Control Alt Shift tilde, so the character behind or beside the number 1. And there's all like a bunch of like complicated key commands to like record different AI lines. So I redid the AI on this track. So this is exactly what you'd run here if you ran one of these cars. And like, as you can tell, there's really nowhere to go. Even like when you think you have a lane, usually there's a reason someone moves up half a groove coming on corner exit. Hello. Also, that happens in real life too, and it's scary as fuck. See, like, where am I gonna go? Got a little loose there. But like, you see how we've just run this conga line for like 25 laps? That's exactly what it's like. You watch the Pinty's race, you watch like the late model stuff I filmed here. Exactly what happens. I filmed last August, I filmed like a 200 lap special event here. I think it was sponsored by like a casino. And there were like 2 lead changes in 200 laps. And like, I'm not even saying that to be like mean or like laugh, but just that's the style of racing here. I think Tyler Eamon won the first race. And it was either Ian or Kelly Admiral won the second race. I'm entering way too low. There's a guy on my ass too. Hello. I know it like looks small, but like the layout itself reminds me of Richmond, where you have like the big egg-shaped
Clear. Car outside.
back straight, and then like the really sharp. Like it's backwards Richmond. So this would be turn 3 in Richmond. This would be turn 4. Your start-finish line is like here, and then you curl off into 1, and then this would be 2. So it's Richmond but backwards. And we are in a nice little pack here, so that's pretty sweet.
Clear. Car outside. Clear outside.
And you see how running on the bottom, you just destroy people on the high line. Like there was a race I ran here where I was sitting P2,
Outside.
and one of my buddies in a John Deere car was leading, and I tried to pass him on the outside, and I fell from 2nd place to 7th. Like it was bad. Just because I was stuck outside and had nowhere to go. Maybe I'll pass this guy and we'll go to a different track. Oh, inside.
Inside.
Guess we won't pass him.
Stay high. Clear. Car inside. Still
Yep.
there.
When they're on it, that is exactly how quickly you fall through the field.
Stay high. Clear inside.
Wow. But again, that's EIR for you. See, he opens the door, I'll take it.
Outside.
So basically, like to pass people here, you have to hope they screw up and go wide off it too. And then just poke your nose under them and be like, hi, I'm here.
Clear. Car outside. Keep low. Still there. Stay low. Clear outside.
I don't remember if there's a night version of this track. I think the beta was. But like the release version's not. Release version's in daytime. Which is accurate. We rarely run at the night in the night here. Because Alberta summers are so long. Like usually the only night events we'd run here are like in September. Getting interesting. This is a special kind of hell, racing against Cyborg me.
outside. Still there. Clear outside.
Whoa, got tight.
Practice is over. Come on in.
Wow, we went right to the end of the session. Nice. We never spun
Practice
once
is
or got
over.
wrecked.
Come on in.
Cool. So, can I actually pull into the back pits here?
Keep it to 35. Keep it under 4,000
Oh,
in
no,
seconds.
won't let me. Where's the pit stall? There it is.
Practice is over. Come on in.
So
Too
yeah.
far to the right.
Fuck you. Yeah, that's EIR for you. Chris says he wants to jump on TeamSpeak. Sure. Okay, questions now? In the real car, do you use left foot braking? Absolutely. You pretty much have to. The people I know, like IRL, who didn't, both in Hornets and late models, suffered greatly to the point where it got them in accidents. I'm dead serious. I'm not even trying to be mean, but like I knew a couple of the younger drivers I ran with were like trying to right foot brake, and like they would full on just like pound people into the corner. And we'd ask him, be like, "Yo, what happened?" She's just like, "Well, I was braking," and yeah, don't left foot brake, or don't right foot brake rather. You want a left foot brake.
Can you hear me?
I got you. Do you mind being live? Because we're live right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, don't say anything like that's gonna get you fired.
Got it.
Yeah, I was just dicking around in NASCAR 03.
Oh, cool. I was gonna try iRacing for the first time in forever.
Deal with your carbon molecules, hey?
Yeah, I'm gonna some carbon black and rubber, all that fun shit.
That's unbelievable. A good thing.
Chance that Sal comes on, I'm gonna send.
I'm just looking through the chat channel here right now. NR Track Designs are the people designing the NR03 version of the Roval, and they released a beta. Yeah, I have that. I did a hot lap on my site. That track is awesome. They did such a good job. Like that, whoever that is, I think he's out in Winnipeg. Like he's a couple provinces over from me, but that dude is awesome at what he does. Good thing about the NR03 is they won't do the bump and run move and move people, so this looks realistic. You can make them do the bump and run if you change the drafting distance. But like, you get properly fucked up because they are ruthless.
Oh, hang on. Cup cars?
What's up?
I have to purchase the cup car again?
Ha ha ha. Well, yeah, it's a Camaro, right?
Wow. I don't have the other ones. What if...
Hey man, they might monitor the stream. They might ban you for saying that shit. I guess we found the short track NASCAR shouldn't put on the cup schedule. Well, like, this is on the Pinty's schedule, and it's hilarious. I've gone to a Pinty's race. I sat behind Alex Tagliani's wife. So I didn't, like, introduce myself and be like, "Hi, I'm this random driver from EIR. That is cool that you're the wife of an IndyCar driver." No, I didn't do that, but I sat behind her and his kids for, like, the whole event. It was neat. It's really neat. I think she's from here, actually. So I'm going to do a mock qualifying run because I hate life. Let me know if I'm like annoying you because you're trying to get iRacing working. I'm like talking to a minimal chat.
No, everything's working. I'm just... The biggest thing that I have, like, that's like an obstacle right now, I guess you could say, is no matter how hard I try to set my primary monitor, this other one, it just won't. I have to hit like Windows, Shift, and the arrow keys.
Rip.
Although I'll give iRacing credit here, something that none of the Steam games I've tried so far were able to do it seems like I can tell it to run on the third monitor by default always, which is nice. I can't do that with Ask Corsa. I have to all do that Windows Shift keypad thing I was telling you about there.
Yep.
This seems
Okay,
like
here comes your first time lap.
tentative that I might be able to do that.
One more lap.
It's coming up.
Oh shit, cooked it. We're on a 12.8. That would have been like.
Oh wow, I'm gonna give
fourth.
them props here. It's actually doing what I wanted it to do.
All right, there's the checkered
my
flag.
desktop, which is like you saw the picture, it's about like 5 feet away from here.
Yep.
My desktop is still on the desktop, and it's loading the sim right now on the third monitor, which is what the rig is set up as.
Really?
Yeah, I'll actually give them credit for that. They'll get credit.
Man, I don't know if you got the stream up, but I botched turn 3 a lap 2.
No, I can't see anything unless I went and grabbed my iPad.
Ah.
Because I definitely don't have enough battery on my phone to put it up.
10-4. Fuck, I like nailed turn 1. That was a sexy 4-wheel drift. Yeah, before you got on, I was playing the pirated build of iRacing. Because, like, it's good. Like, I'm not even doing it for, like, the memes, but, like, I legit need to use it to practice. Like, I'm laying... God, that's a nice corner. Sorry, I'm watching it from all these different angles because replay mode's awesome in this game. Like, I'm laying down a patch of rubber from, like, turn 1 to turn 2. And the wheel's just perfectly straight. And then I just cook the brakes because I'm an idiot. Yeah, EIR is weird like that, where it's like, you come out of 2 and the car's just crazy understeering, but like, that works, like that's what you do here. And then for 3 you have to do this giant checkup, and like kind of take the corner squared, so like you wash out and then you cut back in. And I just went super aggressive and no. My bad. But I ran, let's see. My best practice speed was a 13.8 something. Or
Fucking son of a... So this is the other thing that I've been fighting for some reason. Logitech Profiler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now it knows that I'm at this. Go back into the sim. I'm gonna say that I'll probably have to reset the sim because that's probably not gonna like that I just did that.
Okay, here comes your first time lap. One more lap.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Second time I've done that. You know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna bump up the AI difficulty and do a 100 lapper here. This might be fun. Actually no, the AI are fast enough as they are in practice.
Alright, so how upset am I gonna be with this rally car?
Drivers, to your car.
I'm not sure. I would say a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. Actually, hold on. Have you played Dirt Rally recently?
No.
Okay, you might not like mind it. All right. Actual
Okay.
qualifying lap.
So I was trying to figure out why it didn't ask me to calibrate a gas pedal.
Okay, here comes your first time lap. One more lap.
Oh my god, that was a sexy lap. Yeah, 714. Wow, that was a
All
quick
right,
lap.
there's the checkered flag.
I'm so happy with that run.
You know, I've
Oh.
never played iRacing with a headset before, but this isn't so bad sounding.
I cannot stand their cup car sound. Maybe it's just because I've heard it so much. There needs to be more of like a roar to iRacing sounds. Like, I don't know how much you played R3 when we had the press code, but that game sounded amazing. Isn't NR2003's tire model just the original iRacing tire model from that pirate you downloaded and did a video on? No, it's actually not. I believe this is a Goodyear backed tire model. Whether it's Papyrus's own and like they had a help from Goodyear, or it's just Goodyear gave them like their shit, I don't know. But I know it was brought up in a review of this game on like Operation Sports that they had help from Goodyear this season. So, let's talk about our qualifying time. I ran a 7:14 on lap 1 and a 7:11 on lap 2. Pretty good. Kind of want to watch that again. Let's go. So this is out lap. So I don't have my steering input in this game. It doesn't show it. But the throttle rhythm's up here, and this game's a bit different. Like you can do some like goofy shit, but it's still relatively the same kind of driving style. Are you using a custom sound pack or just the default? This is a custom. I forget where I found it. It was like a sound pack that wasn't even like promoted that much, but I just tried it at random, and it's really good. And again, I forget what it's called, so if I lose it, I'm gonna be really sad. But yeah, I was. Oh wow, you can even see from lap 1. There's skid marks all the way up the backstretch. That's so cool. 'Cause this game has live skid marks, right? And they like stay there for a long time. So there's a skid mark that starts like halfway through turn 1. And I'm four-wheel drifting the car all the way off of 2, down the backstretch. And, like, there's skid marks up to, like, where the fucking emergency vehicles come to. That's so awesome. And then I believe this is where the Pinty series camera. There's, like, a platform for the TSN guys over here. And then the same thing through 3 and 4. You can just see, like, skid marks. That's so sick. I love this game. Yeah, the whole fucking, there's like a 200-foot patch where I'm not laying down skid marks with at least 2 tires. That's so sick. And then I was talking with Brett Taylor on Instagram a couple months back, and he said for late models you don't clip the apron here, but for Pinty's cars you do. So I took the line right out of 4 as well. And then I'm on the chip as I cross the stripe. Damn. So 2 laps back to back with literally identical times. That's pretty sick. I don't need to drift as much though. 2 is a lot cleaner. That's fun though. So I haven't worked on the qualifying AI yet. So they all ran like, this is like a Lucas Oil Sportsman time, but race trim they're fine. Anyway, 100 laps, we're on like 96 AI. This is my AI that I made, so they're kind of stupidly quick. But we are on pole.
Drivers, start your engines.
Also, there's a major chance I'm gonna get dumped by the AI here. How many? Got enough fuel. I'll have that on for you guys. Usually I don't like running with the function screens on because it's
Get ready
immersion,
now.
but
Going green. Pace car's in.
they even have the time of day when the race starts correct.
Green flag, green flag. Green, green, green.
Green flag, blip the throttle, lift on off the gas for the corner. Oh, got a shot. It begins. Let's go. Oh, fuck. Screwed up the corner. I'm not coming down yet because I have to make sure I'm clear of this dude. AI is kind of slow, which I'm upset by.
Is there a handbrake for this car?
Which car? There should be. The rallycross car?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I see.
What track are you doing?
Daytona.
Phoenix I
Yeah.
found to be more fun.
I'm gonna need a handbrake for this car.
You'll run it 3 times, you know it. This is playing out exactly how the race in real life played out. Just everyone's in their own zip code, doing nothing. So one guy kind of chasing me down, but if I push any harder, I cook the tires. Oh, he's actually getting here. Wow, this dude's on a good run right now. I wish this game had an 8-pillar mirror. Really don't use the rear view at all. Someone said a bad word.
Oh shit. Fire barriers F.
Rip. Oh, I wonder if my Hornet line works. So when I ran Hornets here, I'd go all the way out to the wall. It was hilarious. And you could like feel on the right side of the tires, like it'd start to pick up marbles and shit, and that's how I knew if I got too close. Rallycross shit's hard, bro.
Ah. Well, I made a couple of laps pretty straight. I'll give him credit. This is kind of fun.
Now the question is, what do you got to do to go fast?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh. Why was I hot dogging it? I forgot that was my out lap.
Rip. Are you signed up for a race right now?
No, I'm in a practice session.
Ah.
I asked my wife's son if I could play, and he said yes.
Nice. Is this like the first time you signed on this early? To play Sims in like 4 years?
This is the second time I've sim raced since 2016.
And you had a black stripe before it was cool?
Yeah. I cut the course by accident. Fuck me.
So were you one of like the first OG drivers, or like was it a few seasons old already? Like in terms of getting your pro stripe? Uh-oh. Might have cooked the right front. Too much turning. Not good. Uh-oh. I feel like I've destroyed the right front, and it's like lap 40. It's suboptimal. Yep, this is bad.
Okay. Oh, that's not very good.
Have you ever done rallycross before?
No.
That's the issue.
No, I mean, the thing that I just said that's not very good is I hit the handbrake to kind of cut this corner, and I don't know if it was because of the way the suspension was loaded, but the car cut left when I was turning the wheel right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying. Like I said, I don't know if that's just me, but
Car inside. Clear.
Completely destroyed the right front. That sucks. Saved it though. Like, you're always turning here, so it's kind of inevitable. But, oops. Didn't even keep the tires on until 50 to go. Good job, me. But that's also because you can't four-wheel drift in this game as much as you can iRacing. Or at least old iRacing. Because this, it's like your tires literally turn to liquid if you get above a certain temp. And it's like the game just breaks. And you'll literally spin out doing 30 miles an hour if you get the tires past like 250 Fahrenheit. Or is it Celsius? I forget. Probably Fahrenheit. So how about I went to like get donaires with my buddy, and I wiped my eye without realizing I still had like a pepper in it, or like not a pepper, but like, you know, they have like spices on the donaire. May have wiped my eye. That was an interesting 5 minutes. Essentially, like, I basically pepper sprayed myself by complete accident. It's the worst feeling in the world. Like, I couldn't open my eye.
Fuck me. Alright, so I just cut a whole second off that last lap, but I'm still like a second or two off.
Remember, shifted like 6th, bro.
Well, I was gonna say it's kind of cool because it feels like you do have to use a lot of throttle control. Nice, that's like a challenge.
I'm serious, try it. It's those damn carbon molecules.
Wish I had a little bit more field of view. I do miss 3 monitors, I can tell you that. Oh, that's the fucking tire barrier. And I'm rolling. So did your wife's son say you could play racing games tonight, Boston, too?
Yeah. I just think it's sad that like people legit get roped into that. So like I'm running on good pace, I just have no right front tire left. It feels okay. Like I qualified with a 12.7. I was running like 12.8s. Sorry I can't read chat right now, I don't have it on screen, but I'll read after the race. And then we'll go to Colorado. People are probably so bored right now, but like I have to do this and I just figured I'd stream it. You gotta try a car that's like people are saying is actually good. I think that's gonna be your like next goal, even if it's road racing.
Alright, alright, give me a second. I'm gonna try a regular car so I can give a proper review on it. Because I think I'm hurt a little bit by not having a linear fucking handbrake. I think this all or nothing handbrake doesn't do me any good. I'm better off not using it. gonna try a regular route. That was fun though. I'm not gonna knock them. That was somewhat well thought out.
Rallycross is fun. But then again, it turns into, like, it's fun when you do shakedown laps, but then when you actually have to race it, like, what comes to the forefront? Like, I'm like that with Forza, too. Where, like, I like playing Forza. It's fun. Like, in big capital letters, it's fun. But then you have to, like, run in a league or, like, try and climb the leaderboard, and you're just like, what the fuck? Our boys caught a lap car, so I have a chance. Uh-oh. Yeah, it did the thing where it nuked the right rear. Not surprised, it happens here. Wonder if I can get second back, because he's really not that far ahead. So again, NASCAR 03 is great up to a point, but if you slide the car too much, like you saw me doing in iRacing earlier, it like nukes the tire. Not heats it up or makes it hot, it nukes it.
Laps to go.
Might be able to run this dude down. Depends how the tires are doing. Don't really have time to check the board. There we go, made a nice little comeback. Have to race Robo-Me for second place. Check the tires again. Oh wow, it's still fucking trying to kill me. Jesus Christ, what are the tires doing? What the fuck? Yeah, it's literally at 40 miles an hour it's trying to spin out. I held on, but like, damn. It might even be 225 as the temp. So you have to like back off for a bit. It's a small quirk of the game, but I love it anyway.
We got just 10 more to go.
And then counter steering feels weird in this game too. It's like there's a delay. And I think guys in iRacing still have it where they run like super low steering lock so they can catch slides. I saw guys joke about it during the Talladega race. Because both this engine and then the iRacing engine doesn't handle counter steering all that well.
Doesn't surprise me.
Just 5 more to go.
So after the race, I'll be able to check the chat for once. I've been driving for like 25 minutes. One to go.
Just 2 to go.
Wait, no, that's 2 to go. Don't want to pull Mark Martin here.
White flag. 1 more lap to go.
Well, that's over. So, I almost
There's the flag.
wrecked
It's
twice
over.
because of NR03's
Great
kind
job,
of
buddy.
weird tire at the limit. But that's okay. That race played out exactly
Keep it
how
to
they do.
35.
I'm
Keep
happy.
It under 4,000 in second. The race is over. Come on in.
Yeah, I'm aware the race is over. Let's check the
Too
chat.
far to the right.
Again. You were kind of Dale Jr. and Truexing this using NR mods to practice real life. It works though, bro. It really, really works. Like, I'm not doing this for the memes or anything. It really is. It'd be like that. That game, like, it's going to be one of those deals where in 5 or 10 years someone's going to do a documentary on it, because the amount of Cup guys playing this shit back when it was like a couple years old, like, they all had private leagues they raced in. When was I in front of that guy? The only issue with the Pinty Series mod for NASCAR 03 was it was made before the Camaro joined the series, so it's kind of outdated. There's a new mod out. They did a 2017. I think they did a 17 mod and an 18 mod. So one has the Impala, and then the other has the new one has the Camaro. I think there's 2 mods. I know I have 2 mods, so that would be the only explanation for it. I can't tell if you have tire fall off or you just burnt your tires way worse. I burned my tires bad. By like lap 30, and I'm watching from the guy behind me's perspective. You can tell I'm burning up the right front. But yeah, the AI in this game, they do get like stronger overrun and then they'll fall off. Like, it's the more you play this game and the more you run like longish races, the more you'll discover like little things that either the AI do or the physics do. Holy shit, I'm wheeling it here. It's kind of wild to watch from this angle. But again, that's why like NASCAR 03 is the physics in the replay are so smooth. You can see all the minute details of what your car does. But yeah, I'm killing the right front, kind of. And then at the end, like, no, there's a bobble. The rear tires started getting too hot, and then that led to some slides. It's never that crippling in real life. It's just shitty worn tires are just like you're sitting there half throttle off the corner being like, why won't it hook up? Is it gonna hook up ever? and then you're finally full throttle like more than halfway down the straight. Like, it's a weird sensation. Like, it feels like you know physically that you can go quicker, but the car is just not wanting to go quicker. It's the sensation is like, you ever make a dog walk across like a hardwood floor, and they just like flail everywhere? That's exactly what it feels like. And there I cooked the tires. What do you think about Arca Sim Racing X? Okay, so I don't like Arca Sim X because I don't like ISR-based stock car sims. But there was a mod, like a standalone mod for Arca Sim X called American Stock Car that had like a client downloader and Cup Truck Nationwide and Super Lights, and that was really good. But as a whole, I just don't like ISI stock car sims. What's funny is I played Arca Sim Racing in a few online league races, and I won, and it was kind of hilarious, but I still just don't like it. You know, this game did have Goodyear give official tire numbers, and if you look at recent races with Goodyear, it makes sense. The tires will just nuke at a certain point. Yeah, maybe they just were like that. Like, at this point, this is now almost 20-year-old tire technology. So that would make sense if that was in that game. It just sucks for short track racing because tires don't nuke like that. Yeah, Tony Stewart plays iRacing, but he plays it more for like the fun, I think. Alright, so we will now go to Erie, Colorado. Let's do like a 10-minute practice here. So this is more of a track that's like Prince George, to some extent. Prince George is like super sketchier because like all the surface is just completely torn to shit, but it's really fun. I don't want to like say that to be disparaging and have like people shit on me, but like there's cracks in the track and it's really, really fun. It's, picture Atlanta as a short track. You just have no grip ever. And then you hit retarded speeds because the track's kind of big. So same thing, 96 AI, 100 laps, 10 minutes practice. What car did you move on to now?
I did the nationwide car for a few minutes. Fixed setup is pretty shitty.
Are you surprised?
No. I wish I was.
Uh-oh. Cam hack is not working on me. Panic. There we go. Okay, so this is Colorado. It is very similar to Prince George, which we'll probably be racing at next week. Provided something doesn't come up, but things happen. Hello.
Outside. Clear outside.
You can have some space. More people merging? Great. Whoa, it's like trying to kill me. Good old papyrus magic. And yes, that is a Dirtfish car in front of me. They sponsor a super late in Washington. I think it's Garrett Archer, who's really good. To the top already? Come on. it's loose over the corner exit. There we go. Tyler Tanner's 15.5. I think that dude lives in Hawaii. And he, like, flies to the races. I have to look up on that, though. This track's so slick that I'm, like, kind of half throttle until I'm off the corner. Which is really fun. It's either Tyler Tanner or Tanner Holm that flies in from Hawaii. Oh, falling down the list now. AI's getting quicker. It's good. I think my record here is a 16.3. Oh, that's the wall. I can't be as aggressive on the throttle here because I'll just die. Hello. Again, it's not like 03 where you can drive with crazy slip and nothing happens. But it's good enough to get into the flow of it. The biggest thing, like the center of the corner, I can't do the four-wheel drifting, but off the corner the throttle rhythm's perfect. And again, this is another track I've done the AI at, so this is robot me I'm racing against. Which is kind of a scary thought. So like if I die in some freak accident, there's 2 AI files on my computer that you can use if you ever want to race against me. I know that's like morbid, but like someone's gonna get bored and go through all my shit.
Car outside. Clear outside.
Probably in mid-pack, which is really nice. I can pick up the pace though. Definitely. Like, I can be on the chip in this car, going into the corners. Just trying to get some steady laps in. Oh, people are starting to really pick up the pace now. This is a really fun track. So I gotta be smart about that and try not to burn off the right front. But if you try and four-wheel drift, it just goes into a crazy slide like that.
Keep it under 50. Keep it under 5,000 in second.
I love it when track makers for NR2003 go in detail and give tracks with no pit lane and off track to keep it accurate with real life. Yeah, like, the people that make shit for this game, I don't care how low poly it is, because, like, I mean, look at those trucks. But still, like, the amount of detail they put into this is insane. So much fun.
You're too far to the right.
Yep, of course I am. So this is kind of realistic, actually, for at least for these drivers, for everyone to be in like a couple 10th bracket. The people at Evergreen are so fucking good. Like when we went to the K&N race, watching super late practice was more fun than the actual K&N race. So like I've seen Haley Deegan race in person. I've seen who was in the K&N series last year. There's that Asian dude, like all the way from Japan. There's there was Derek Kraus. I want to say Cole Rouse. Does that sound right? But yeah, like we saw the whole event last year, and we saw like the big Junkin one. Like I know that made a bunch of highlight compilations. But no, like the super late model afternoon and then qualifying session, because it was supposed to be a split bill until the rain came. The super lates were awesome. Those things are so fucking crazy. I wonder if this is more realistic than iRacing. They're honestly about the same. Like when you weigh the pros and the positives and negatives. I played NR or an iRacing pirated build earlier. If you want to scroll back as a comparison. This game, like, they're kind of on even footing. Like, I'd give them both, like, an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 for realism, but they both do different things, right? So, like, iRacing pirated build, it's, like, the driving style and the throttle control is perfect, but, like, the car is almost too grippy. Like, there's not enough throttle control on exit, but, like, the actual driving style is perfect. And this is also, like, pretty damn good, but it's super easy to overheat the right sides. So you can't always drive with the slip angle. But braking to me feels really good. And then this, of course, has the benefit of pretty much every track under the sun ever made. And car sets out the ass, and mods out the ass, and just a whole bunch of community shit. So practice is over. I'm placing P5 of 11, which is about right. Interesting how they're a pit crew and they complain if you go too far to the right. Kunos, take note. Yeah, and it's shit like this that really fueled like when I ran PRC. Is this game came out when I was in elementary school, like I was in 6th grade, and you know I'm in my mid-20s now, and no one's still matched this level of depth in a sim. And this was built on inferior hardware. This is a Windows XP game. So this track's weird. They give you outlap and 3 qualifying laps. I don't know why, but we'll roll with it. But we'll see what we can do in qualifying here. Nope. That's 4th. So I don't think they throw the green yet. It's kind of weird. But we'll see. They do. Okay. Off we go. Oh, it's so fucking loose. Like on cold tires, it's just wow. Spooky. Yeah. Need to change that in the INI. 16.8, but the AI is going to get faster. One to go.
There's the checkered flag.
Oh wow, that might actually be a new PB for me. 16.341. Nice. So let's pause that. Let's check the lap times. 16.6 because I choked, a 4, and then I picked up a 10.5. Cool. Was that a PB? A 341? Yes, that was a PB. Sweet. because I ran this a bit last night too. Not a full race. For someone who's asking, or I think it was like WKC, or it's like WK Customs. No, this is not a WK Customs track either. This is Windy City Racing. There is an insane NASCAR 03 track out there I think it's called Thornton, and it's based in Illinois. And it's like a guy just made like the interstate by his house. And like did all the off-ramps and shit. And it's just like a race around the interstate. It's hilarious. And like he kind of screwed with it because he'd put like Simpsons houses and shit if he's just lazy and wanted to put like buildings to show a neighborhood and not actually model like generic buildings. But like the racetrack is amazing. It's just like freeway driving. The NASCAR record at this track is a 15.746. Yeah, I believe that's like super truck. And that could have been when this track was new. So the surface was a bit better. But I think the trucks, before the truck series went like mainstream, and Chris, you know what I'm talking about, there was that era of the truck series where it was like kind of just on TNN.
Yeah, it was at short tracks.
Yeah, and they would just run like Colorado and Evergreen and like Louisville and shit. And then I think like 02 or 03 NASCAR put them as like the undercard for the Cup Series and stopped running here. Oh, you know what? Is Rick Corelli the guy that went to jail for being a pedo, or is that someone else? No, that's Rick Crawford. It was the Circle Bar truck guy that went to jail. Corelli's a good guy. Ethan is, I think he's like kind of almost retired from sim racing. That's why he hasn't been on these. He was just in Florida for his job, so he hasn't even been on like Discord or anything like that. He's been working. Hopefully he'll be allowed to show off what he's been doing to the public in some capacity, because what he does is really, really cool, and it's something he should be really, really proud of. And I think if people knew the full extent of what he does, it would be mind-blowing. And it's something I wish I had PRC around for just to cover, because it is seriously impressive. I think he might have hinted at it, but I don't want to like ruin the surprise in quotations. But if you have him on social media, it's pretty cool. Especially with him and his business partner, I guess you could say. How far they have come and where they have come from, and what they currently do for their work, versus teams with extreme like high funding, is complete insanity. Fuck, like just one day I hope it gets revealed to the public. Because it's really fucking cool. So a track we're going to next week, and that the series I runs at, is Pagara Speedway. It's in Prince George. I think there's video of me running the night race on my account. I think it's like the White Spruce Enterprises 100. Look in the 2018 playlist. So that's the track that's up next weekend. And the track I'm using to like mimic it is Colorado National Speedway. They might call it something different now. K&N West Race is here. I'm pretty sure a track modder would be down to make that track on NR. Yeah, you never know, but I mean, I don't really know how those guys operate with like commission or something. Anyway, 100 laps. I think we have enough fuel. Yeah, 225 laps. We're fine. Let's get going.
Drive hard.
Drivers, stop your
So I won't be able to read the chat for like 20 minutes, but oh well. Off we go. And yeah, the AI kind of hit each other on pace laps, but
Get ready now.
doesn't
Going
fuck with
green.
anything.
Green flag, green flag. Green, green, green.
Okay, goal for this race is to not nuke the right front.
You're in first.
Which, like, is backwards, because, again, I want to be four-wheel drifting, but I want to win a race on stream, because it's fun. But realistically, I'll get dumped by the AI car. Happens a fair bit here. It's right on me now, too. EIR are keeping pretty good pace behind me. Got a bump from behind, here it comes. My line here is really weird, but that's how you have to run Prince George, and I don't want to break my muscle memory. But I'm aware it's like a weird double apex, and then for 3 I cut down super low. It's just how it is. The line for Evergreen's even crazier. Like what the K&N guys were doing last year was just wild. It's like a double apex. But like extreme double apex, so they're almost running on the grass in turn 1. Holy shit, AI's right there. He's moving too, look at that. Uh-oh. Switch to a more informative box. car are you on right now? Cup car?
Dirt oval at linear.
Oh, you bought the dirt content?
No, I had it. I can tell you one thing. There's too many series to try and figure out what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I was noting that the last couple of years. It just seems like oversaturation at this point. And there's probably not enough people to support them all. Sadly. What car?
Late model.
Well, and then
Certainly.
even within that, there's like 3 different classes, right?
Yeah. Like, interesting. Over to volume.
Someone died.
Down here.
Second place is getting close. Dude behind me's flying. Wow.
But they tell you that the dirt stuff feels more intuitive than it did when I last tried it.
Like better?
I don't know if it's more real, but it feels better.
Well, it had issues when it first came out, hey?
Yeah, and
Like,
I was like,
it was not ready.
it feels like, I can tell you what it actually feels like now. It actually feels like the tires dig down into the dirt now.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't feel like you're on top of the dirt. It feels like there is a dig down, like, effect. Kinda cool.
Put down together a solid string of laps. I'm pulling away now. Seem to have conserved the right front a lot better.
Hang on, I gotta lower this volume more. I can hardly hear you.
Rip. That's probably a good thing, though. Halfway.
There are the cross flags. We're halfway home.
That was a little late, but okay. We're like 2 laps past halfway. Spotter finally says halfway. Oh, he's catching me. AI car's making a run again.
Oh, dead.
Ultra dead.
Yeah, fucking nosed it in.
So glad I didn't burn the right front off this race. Worked really hard on that. Hell yeah, we're catching some back markers now. Coming up on 25 to go. Did that in qualifying last year, locked it up going into 3. Lost like a 10th. Sloppy lap, I was readjusting my feet. If only you guys knew how accurate this is. Like, usually I can tell if a sim's accurate, and this is gonna sound like super hippie-ish, but when my body starts trying to brace for G-forces that aren't there, that's when you know it's pretty good. I get that feeling in P cars on about half the cars. I get that feeling on R3 on about half the cars, and I get that feeling in this game. Where, like, the right side of my legs tries to, like, naturally brace for being thrown against the right side of the car. Or the seat, rather. And, like, my right knee, because that's where it's going to rest up against, like, the transmission cover, is, like, tensing up to deal with the G's, but it's like I'm sitting in a chair at home. Like, it's like your body's trying to ride a dirt bike, but there's no dirt bike. That's the best way to put it. So the line here is slightly different to Prince George, but it's close enough. Prince George, turn 2 is uphill, whereas this is kind of flat. And then turn 3 is actually sharp. And then 4, like, opens up. Like, it's weird. You'll have to look at it on Google Images if you're bored. But, like, in 3, going into 3, there's a distinct apex on the curb that you can, like, aim for every single time. And then same thing with turn 4 too. Which is why what the fuck?
Let's go. Race back to the line. There's too much debris on the track.
Someone junked it.
Under caution. Stay behind the pace car. Pit road is now open.
So I'm pretty much fucked because under yellow, your tires cool down here. And then the AI is able to warm their tires under caution, whereas you start kind of cold. So they usually can run circles around you, which kind of sucks. Tries not to nuke the right front, ends up nuking it, yeah. We're doing pretty good though, like tire-wise. Yeah, the right front's actually colder than the right rear. I mean, we've cooled down a bit, but... I apologize for it being a boring race, but this happens a lot in these cars. Again, in the 2 most recent late model races I've watched here at my home track, there's been 1 lead change.
We got just 10 more to go.
AI is trying to pass me. That's interesting. I don't know what the wreck was. Pace laps suck in real life. We had, when we ran Agassi last year, Trevor Adelman, I think something seized with the rear end, so they couldn't like tow the car off the track, and we must have done like 15 pace laps. This is the worst thing in the world. I was so bored. And because these cars are carbureted, you have to clear out the carb every now and then, so you have to push the clutch in and fucking pop the throttle a few times. Like, once every lap or so. That's why I always hear guys revving their engines under yellow. It's not just to, like, wave the dick around.
We're going green next time by. Line up, single file.
Alright. I'm gonna get junked because, again, going from hot tires to cold tires to hot tires again.
In turn 1.
Someone wrecked on the pace lap? Okay. That's amazing.
Get ready now. Going green.
Oh, they're gonna throw it green anyway? That's fucking hilarious.
Green, green, green.
Oh, we're gonna die. I have no grip. Oh my god, I have no grip.
Just 5 more to go.
What?
Oh man, this is the true Xbox Live experience right now.
You're gonna have to wait till I'm done. Yeah, just shut the fuck up. What's fucking important?
One to go.
Last lap. You the man. Come on, bring it home.
Nice. That was a relatively flawless race. I bumped the wall 3 times, so I'll have to work on that
You just won a race.
over the week.
Next thing you know, Boston will win the series.
Oh, stop. So you'll have to work on a corner exit and minding where the wall is. Because I'd like to have 0 wall taps instead of 3, because you never know what you're going to break. If you do it in a real car.
The race is over. Come on in.
No, they want us to park on the front stretch because that's procedure. So, yeah, I will more or less do the same kind of evening 2 or 3 more times next week. And then I'll probably go go-karting, and that's my preparation. So, for the people who are still watching, thank you for coming out. If you got any shit you want to talk about before I sign off, now is the time. Better question is actually what happened for the wreck. Okay, we're under yellow. That's green. That's yellow. Okay, so it was here. Did someone blow up? Why was there a fucking yellow? Oh, you know what? That was a debris caution. That's really cool. We went 80 laps without a yellow and the fucking official just threw a debris yellow. That's why they said there's too much debris on the track. Yeah, like, no one spun. That's so cool. We had a legit debris yellow. Yeah, like, no one pit or anything. Sorry, I'm being kind of ADD with the cameras. My bad. Yeah, like... Oh, that's so cool. We had a legit debris yellow for no reason. Yep, they threw a debris yellow on us because we went 88 laps with like no lead changes. Fucking NASCAR. That's so cool. So let's look at the lap times. Shitty tires, 886. 8.5, kind of all over the place here. There's like the middle stretch. I was super consistent. It was awesome. Here we go. 77777, 655, 676, 776, 6576. There's another really good run I had too. Here we go. 667, 456, and then I choked there. Then we had the yellow, yellow. Damn, was really consistent too. Cool. And then you have these lame little catalog screens which you can edit. Anyway, I'm probably gonna call it quits here. So yeah, this is the LMP V2 GNS physics mod. This was the 2018 Mark Galloway 150 car set. It's a bunch of guys that run at Evergreen Speedway. The tracks I used tonight, I've renamed them, and I've actually given them different track grip levels, which I forgot to mention. They are the track grip levels taken from the Saskatoon track made by NR Track Designs, and I just copy-paste across everything because I felt those handled pretty good. I rename the tracks so they appeared differently, but again, it's the NR Track Designs made the Edmonton Raceway. I'm actually in this picture, by the way. You can't see me, but I think I am... Fuck, where'd we sit? We sat, like, here. Oh, you can't... Yeah, you can't see my mouse on the stream. Or can you? Nope, you can't. But no, we are actually in this picture, which is kind of neat. And that's by NR Track Designs. You can find them on Facebook just by searching that name. And then Colorado National Speedway was made by a group called Windy City Racing. I believe they're no longer around. This was a group that was like active back in like 2005, 2006. All of their tracks have been preserved on the NR2K3 track database. I think that's what it's called. I think it's like nr2k3tracks.com. And there's like a whole page for WCR tracks. They made amazing shit. It was ahead of its time. They did really detailed work. This track is really good. Thornton, as I mentioned earlier, is really, really cool. The highway battle track. And yeah, I think that's everything. I used a DX9 patch for this game. I used Reshade. There is a tutorial for it. I probably should add links to this thing when all is said and done. Because it's a lot to get NR03 up and running. It really is. Like, there's so much that you have to install. But, like, once it's good, you can just set it. It's fine. It's funny how a game sim from 03 can give you that brace for impact reaction, but modern game sims can't. Yeah, it's just... I mean, it helps that I've driven this stuff. And, like, the muscle memory kind of takes over. But it's weird. Like, when I really get into a race like that one, like, I can feel it in my legs. That, like, the legs are trying to brace for things that aren't there. But that's good. That gives you the muscle memory stuff. Phantom Debris Yellow. Yeah, like, that's really fucking cool. I knew it was in this game. Like, I know if there's a big wreck, they'll say there's too much debris on the track and the yellow will run long. But I didn't realize that, like, someone could just, like... Something could just fall off a car and the game would throw a yellow. I can click through the cars here out of boredom. Molly Helmuth, I think she's won like an Alan Kulwicki award. And she has her own... I think she does like commission for like sponsorship packages. She's always posting her 9D design stuff on Twitter. And it's really, really good. I don't know who you are. Trenton Moriarty, I think Dustin either knows him or has talked to him a few times on iRacing. Garrett Archer is just really, really good. He's the Dirtfish car. Lang, I'm not sure. Not sure who you are. Matt Holden, this guy had a documentary about him. I think it's Matt Holden. Let's check. Nope, Mike Holden. There is a documentary out there called B. Holden, and he runs at Evergreen. Some of these guys I don't know. I know Shane Harding's driven this car a few times. Tanner Holm. One of these guys is from Hawaii. One of the Tanners. Brittany Zamora is I think the Northwest Tour champ. So I think they run Evergreen and a couple other tracks. And she's in the K&N series right now with Bill McAnally. I think that's the Toyota Napa cars. So she's the orange number 99 Unos car, I think. And yeah, that's everyone. So it's a pretty small car set, but like it's kind of neat. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night here. Well, not call it a night, but I'll sign off. thank you for coming to my shitty little practice session that I could have done alone, but I have instead brought you guys along with, and we'll be doing a couple more of these throughout the next week and a half because I have to. And then hopefully we're not upside down next weekend. So, yep, see you guys in a bit.